Welcome back to Three's In. Bubba is still with you. Number 2 of perhaps 3, or I don't know what it is. I'm on a roll this morning. At any rate, good to see everyone. Now, for any of you who've been on the channel even a month or so, a couple months, you have an appreciation for how much I loved flying the T-38. It was a kick in the ass. And even thinking about it today just makes my blood boil. It was a lot of fun, and they paid us to do it. All right, that being said, the T-38 became operational in 1960, and they're looking to replace it here. They were hoping to start the replacement with the T-7, I think, last year or maybe early this year, but it's not going to happen. The college boys are stumped with all the technology being poured into the replacement, the T-7. Okay, that being said, in the late 80s, we began to see quite an influx of TAC resources into the command. They were bringing in fighter pilots as IPs, and they were slowly culling the herd of TTB pilots as instructors. Not right away, but just kind of subtly. And it was a movement that just started and then started gaining momentum, if you will, to now we still have bomber pilots as IPs at the bases, but they're not as plentiful as they used to be. And same thing you could say about the FAPEs, the first assignment IPs. Not quite as many FAPEs as we used to have. When I was flying as a line IP advanced, we had a ratio of probably of 60-40% FAPEs to prior service guys that came out of all sorts of aircraft. F-4s, my case, rescue C-130s and C-141s, bombers and tankers and a lot. Well, over the years, from about 90 on, they started bringing more and more fighter guys into the command. And then what they did is to make them feel comfortable, I suppose. I don't know. They didn't bring me into the loop on this one. All I could do is just act on conjecture. They started camouflaging the jets. They took the airplane that we fondly grew up with, the White Rocket, and they started camouflaging it. And I remember sitting around talking to some of my peers, and somebody said, okay, why are they camouflaging training platforms? It doesn't make sense. He says, take a golf ball, okay? When you're trying to teach someone to play golf and whack it down the fairway, of course it's going to go into the rough or into the trees or the brush. He said, you go there and you ferret it around a little bit and you spot a little bit of white and you pick it up and continue on. He says, now take that same golf ball and camouflage it and now send it down the fairway and into the rough. He says, good luck with finding it. That's about the same way. I don't know. I did fly the camouflage jets, not quite as many as there are today. I think the T-38s now are all camouflaged. Well, Swell. But I don't remember having any issue with them being camouflaged, but being white, they were relatively easy to spot because of the contrast against the blue sky and certainly against the ground when you're looking for a lost wingman. What I would used to do when I had a lost wingman is I'd put him down, if I was lead, I'd put him down 11,000 feet or so, put him over a known point, and just have him sit there and orbit a little bit. And then I'd go high in the area, fly over the point, and look down and see the contrast against the ground, and then roll in on his ass. It was a lot of fun. So when somebody called lost wingman, I said, okay, I got the aircraft. That was my turn to play. But now they're all camouflaged. Good luck with that. But it makes people feel good, I suppose. Okay. Anyway, it was kind of heartbreaking to see that and to realize that. And along with that, the thought of the T-38 being phased out. Now, I understand why they need to do it. It's sad in some cases, heartbreaking in other cases, but the 38 has been just a fantastic training platform, but she's getting old and certainly needs updated. The engines need updating. There's some things they can do with avionics or so forth, but you can only take it so far. So bringing on a new aircraft like the T7 probably is the way to go. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this whole concept here in another video coming up soon, another presentation coming up soon. I'm going to take it a little bit further. But for now, I wanted to create a way to honor the service and the contribution of the White Rocket as we knew it. You can see it up there in the a little bit. You can see the nose. I'm going to try this and bring it into focus here without ruining the whole presentation. There we go. I created a website called The White Rocket. Actually, it's not a website. I'm sorry. I created a Facebook page called The White Rocket. And for those of you on Facebook, I encourage you to hop over there. If you flew the T-38, we would love to see you put a couple pictures you might have of it. Tell us what your experience was with the jet. And just, if you didn't fly it, just sign on and enjoy the banner that you'll see as it starts to grow. Just my way of honoring the White Rocket that served, from my perspective, from 1960 to 2002, once they all got painted and kicked out the barn. Okay, that being said, that was my paid political announcement, if you will. No politics involved in it, just banner and blather. Still, it's good to see everybody. Once again, Facebook, The White Rocket. Look forward to seeing you there. This is Bobo Base Gear. Stop.